comes in a variety of ways. It's time, it's energy, it's health, it's abundance. Perhaps there's financial. But one of the consistent theme is you got to keep pounding on your craft. If you know what you're gifted at, that those folks that you see who do things exceptionally well, you see them as a result of the tens of thousands of hours they put in to hone and pound on their craft. Yes. And those that make it look simplest have worked the hardest, except you don't get to see behind the curtains of all that hard work.
Wow. I had a meeting this morning at 7:30 with a sales guy, and he was talking about the people that he comes in and he coaches. And he says, Derrick, I know already that the people who's coming in to see me, they don't practice like you do. I don't even know what he really meant by that. But he says, I bet you practice on your speech every day. I'm like, yeah, when I wake up, when I go to sleep, I'm still practicing on my speech every day. Yeah, that's just something that is innate in who I am, but no one can see the amount of hours I put in for a presentation. I take it very seriously as part of my gift. And I'll tell you this story. You might remember this. Back in the 80s, there was a hip hop artist by the name of MC Hammer. And he's from California, so you might have heard of him. But he had a song out, and it was called You Can't Touch This. And in that song, he had a lyric that says, my music makes me so hard, makes me say, oh, my Lord, thank you for blessing me with a mind to rhyme and to hype feet. So in that, he was saying, thank you for the gift that I have. But an interesting thing happened with MC Hammer. He started listening to the naysayers, what I mentioned before. All the people didn't believe in him. And they said, Hammer, we don't think you should have it on these big pants and have all these people on stage anymore. They said, hip hop is going in a different angle, is going into this thing called gangster rap. So he listened to those naysayers and he changed his style up and he became a so-called gangster rapper. What happened to Hammer? He fell off for forever. I mean, he's never come back once he left his gift. He said his gift was, using his hype feet. When he stopped using his hype feet, all of his wealth, all of his friends, all that stuff started dissipating from him. So for individuals out there who are utilizing your gift, you may say, man, this is something I do so well. It seems like I'm a natural at it. Well, you are, because you're gifted at it, and no one can compete with a person who's gifted in a particular area. So for me, this may be a little tough for people to hear, but when it comes to encouragement and talking about a particular topic, I don't care if it's Les Brown, I don't care if it's Tony Robbins or Zig Ziglar. In this area, they have a tough time with Derrick Miles because this is where I am. And I don't think I can jump into their arena and really compete, but this is where I am and where I spend my time.
Well, you might be surprised or not surprised to know that I had a pair of those MC Hammer baggy pants in my closet. But I probably looked more like a melting version of Vanilla Ice than I did MC Hammer. So I appreciate those stories. Listen, I'm going to get you a couple more questions. We are going to go to another commercial, but I want to ask you about this because the focus of this is really about uncovering your gifts, and you clearly have many, and you clearly work really hard to give those gifts away. I'm a big believer the way you get to keep them is by giving them away, and if you don't give them away, you don't get to keep them.
That's right.
You are doing us a great service. And I recognized in getting to know you that you have a gift of recognition, meaning you have this innate ability to see a gift in others. And maybe you call that being the encourager. But I think perhaps you have a talent of seeing something inside of somebody that they may not have seen inside of themselves until perhaps you've shown a bit of light on it. So when we come back, I'd like you to share a little bit about that, perhaps what you believed you were gifted at as a child, maybe what you heard from family, what you see now, and what is it you look for in others. You mentioned your wife, your brother. So we'll talk a little bit about the ability to open gifts when we come back with the encourager, Derrick Miles.
You're listening to Real Coaching Radio TV Network. Interact with us by calling our live shows at 303-872.